They have it. They have it. The 76ers go into Madison Square Garden, their last game before the All-Star break, and they get a W. I'm done with the Boston thing. Of course, obviously, I'm upset, but it's time to move on. It's time to take that next step and get over the fact that what happened happened. The Sixers had, a game on their schedule today, and obviously coming off an emotional game that they lost in, they go out and they handle business. It got ugly at times, absolutely, especially in that third, fourth quarter, but they make it work. They get the win going into the All-Star break, and that's really all you can ask for. It's tough to get up for a game like that. Madison Square Garden, it's so dead. It kind of sucks, honestly. I know that there's a lot of people out there that say, good, screw the Knicks. They should never be good because, it's a rival, and I get that, but this is horrendous. I mean, 18 straight losses, and the building's just terrible to say. I mean, that's Madison Square Garden. It should never be like that. But the Sixers win 126-111. The Knicks are now 10-47 after 57 games. Ooh. The first quarter, the Sixers shot, this is unbelievable, 77.8% from the field. They were up 4 points. What? What? How does that even happen? That's like literally almost impossible. Not defending well. Wow. I mean, seriously. You're almost shooting 80% from the field, and you're up 4 points after the first. Some things I like, obviously, I saw Ennis over Korkmaz get in today, but I'll be honest with you, as a whole of the bench, I'm still a little concerned in spots. I don't know how sold I am right now on Jonathan Simmons. I don't know how sold I am right now on Ennis, but I mean, I prefer them over Korkmaz without a doubt. Our bench got outscored 74-29. We were up at one point in the third quarter, pretty big. I mean, within 26 points at this point, right? We were up big. Somehow Jonathan Simmons in 10 minutes of play is minus 15. I'm just saying, it's a little concerned. I don't know if we were up 26 at that point because we were up 26 and it got cut to 9. But somewhere in that 10-minute span, my man's minus 15 against the Knicks. I just don't know how something like that happens. Also, in the third quarter, Joel Embiid goes up for a saved ball, jumps over the scorer's table, and takes a hard tumble fall and almost murders one of the announcers for the Knicks. But, Joel, come on, man. Listen, I love the fact that you're throwing your body out for the boys, but we need you. I got so scared. He jumped over literally the front row of people and over the table of the scorers. Like, come on. Come on, let's go, Joel. Don't scare me like that, man. Don't scare me like that. But everyone was okay, so we can laugh at it now. Also, Ben Simmons, now on back-to-back nights, got dunked on pretty good. Knox gave him a massive how do you do. And this one was way worse than the Tatum one, I think. Because the Tatum one, yeah, he came across, and because Tatum did the spinorama on Embiid, it was a little bit nicer due to the fact of the events leading up to the nice dunk that Ben contested. But this was straight Ben getting murdered by Knox. 2 nights in a row. 2 nights in a row. So I don't know how the Sixers really gave up this lead in the second half after they cut it to 9. So we were up 26, they cut to 9. Then they keep cutting into it. It ends up getting to 6, I believe, and then the game kind of just stalled with this 6-10 kind of game back and forth. Tobias gets a big shots in there, and Mike Scott ended up having a big shot in there as well, and he's the one that I'm happiest with when it comes to coming off of the bench. I have the most confidence in Scott compared to the other guys, but I am still a little bit, tiny bit concerned on what we have going with the bench. I don't know if I'm really sold on it yet, but also you got to factor in, because of how many stars we have, we're going to be able to rock lineups with 2 guys on the bench like Ben and Joel and still be able to rock Tobias and Jimmy. I think at one point we had was it Jimmy, Tobias, Boban, Ennis, and TJ at one point? I didn't mind that lineup. There were times where we do things like that, so it's not a full wholesale change like I mentioned before. So that obviously is different than just having 5 bench guys out there and saying, man, they're just getting outscored. I understand that completely. But I'm just saying, Jonathan Simmons has kind of been Ennis, I know he's not much of a pure sniper shooter. He's all about the D and the hustle, and I respect that. So that's something that you have to realize when he's out there on the floor. Yeah, just one thing that I also didn't like in this game was the fact that we were up 10 with 2 minutes left. So after the nonsense of them cutting the lead at 1.6 when we were up 26, it's a 10-point game. It's a 10-point game with 2 minutes left. We get a defensive board. Ben Simmons has the ball. He just chucks it all the way down the court. Like, at this point, I think you need to understand the situation, understand what happened, understand we have time to kind of kill some clock. We're up 10. What the hell are we doing? Now, we got lucky because the defender who almost picked it off kind of fumbled it, and it ended up going back to one of the Sixers in the corner. I believe it was JJ who just missed a 3, but I just don't get the fact of why we're even forcing it and throwing it all the way down the court like that when we have a 10-point lead with 2 minutes left, and we just kind of have to seal the deal and finish this bad boy off. Just realizing the circumstances of blowing a big lead, I don't see the reason behind that. And we allowed 14 offensive boards today, which I was also not proud about. But I mean, listen, it is what it is. That's a really bad Knicks team, and it should have been way more of a blowout than it was. But we're heading into All-Star break, and it's a new look, a new outlook once we get to that point. I'm gonna take time to address this stretch that we just had, the big stretch of doom that we called it, and I'll do that in another video here during the All-Star break. But here it is. I mean, the Sixers have a position to make some noise here and get themselves in a reasonable spot for playoffs coming off the All-Star break. Stats. Not that it really matters to me tonight, but Embiid, 26, 14, and 3, and did a hell of a job, 12 of 14 from the free throw line. Ben Simmons got to the free throw line a lot today. 8 of 14 from the free throw line. He finished with 18, 7, and 4. The Sixers, especially in the first half, the ability to get to the charity stripe was very noticeable. Jimmy with a weird night because he only shot 4 or 6 from the field, but he ends up with 18, 7, and 4. So he was pretty productive, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, and just finding ways. Just absolutely finding ways and doing a lot. Showing versatility out there. Boban, 10 and 8, and Tobias with a monster, 9 of 14, shooting 25 and 6. It's tough to have a big takeaway from this one. Honestly, it just sucks. It sucks as a fan. I know it got close there late, but these type of games suck. Coming from what we went to last night and the intensity and the passion involved and the care level and just the playoff type vibe to go to a team that is on an 18-game losing, well, it was 17-game losing streak before we went in there and took care of business. But to play a team like that, it kind of sucks. And I was thinking, imagine like hearing this on paper, right? You have back-to-back games to end the All-Star, to end the stretch right before the All-Star break, and you got to play Boston at home, and then you head to New York to play in Madison Square Garden. That sounds great. Like, I kind of want those rivalries to be unreal. Like, I want that. This is just abysmal. Abysmal. Now, I understand they have, spots upcoming here in the future when it comes to landing free agents in the draft, but I don't know why I'm talking about the New York Knicks as if I care. I'm just saying, as a fan, it sucks to sit there and watch a game of this nature. It doesn't help of what happened last night, obviously, but it just sucks as a fan to sit through it because it was just kind of boring. It was a snooze fest, and I almost turned it off for the Kardashians when it was a 26-point game, but I said, I gotta watch the whole thing. I have to watch the whole thing. I need to dissect these players. I need to see this team play with some more chemistry. I got a show to talk about. I can't do it, bros. And then bang, 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 bang. Here comes the chipping away by the Knicks. The chipping away by the Knicks. And before you know it, a 6, 7, 8-point game. Before guys stepped up. Tobias had the big one there late to really seal the deal with under a minute left there, which was awesome. He definitely shot the ball very well, and I don't expect him to shoot the ball the way that he did against the Boston Celtics ever again. But I'm over it. I swear, I promise. I promise. I promise. I'm not going to be harsh on it like I was the last 2 videos. It's time to turn the page. We got to address the Celtics at another time. We have other things on our plate right now. We got the All-Star break. We got to find a way to get this team meshing before we head into the playoffs and take care of what we can control. That's what it is. That's pretty much what's on the agenda here for the Sixers moving forward. So, in regards to the All-Star break, yeah, I'm excited to see Ben play. I'm excited for the All-Star break, and I'm excited to see, the skills challenge and all that. I find that enjoyable. Of course, I want Sixers basketball. It kind of stinks that I'm not going to be able to watch games with the passion that I do, but I actually take the All-Star game for what it is and sit back, kick back, and kind of enjoy it, especially now that, last year was kind of entertaining with how they played defense by the end. I want to see that again, and the fact that we get Joel and Ben in there this year, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Let me know your thoughts down below on this game heading into the All-Star break. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.